Let's see here. It is the 29th of December. 2021, episode 168.
Yep.
Was yesterday 167?
That would make it 167 yesterday. Yep.
But that was really kind of a half episode,
Yeah, I mean it still counts as an episode.
It counts as an episode.
Yeah.
You guys did an episode yesterday?
I did because I was trying to update people on Giga,
Yeah,
but I got to be honest with you. It seems like to me, the more transparent I am, the worse the stock performs. I'm almost better off to shut my mouth. I actually might just make a new resolution that says I will no longer talk about Nile and Alt Alliance except for quarterly reports, because no matter what I say to people, I mean, literally, we're mining we're mining Bitcoin in a big way now.
We are.
We're continuing to add new miners.
Yeah.
Stock's down. I think the stock is trading for half of what our projected Bitcoin mining is next year. I don't know what to say. I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah.
We announced the stock buyback. Stock goes down every day. We don't have an ATM. People said, "Oh, it's only going down because you have an ATM." We stopped the ATM. The average price is 381. Stock still goes down. I'm not going to say I'm done, but me providing transparency more than the SEC requires, me providing bi-quarterly updates for Bitcoin, us providing all this stuff doesn't seem to help anybody be more comfortable.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know that the juice is worth the squeeze. I literally told my board that I want to be one of the most transparent CEOs in the world, and I'm the chairman, executive chairman. And I got to be honest with you, I don't think it works. I don't think anybody cares. And I bought back through the hedge fund and my various means about 6.1 million shares.
Right.
Nobody cares. And in fact, they're giving. I have rarely give a commentary on a stock. I literally am looking at the numbers and saying to myself, "Okay, you say so. I mean, okay." I'm so blown away.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
I mean, we bought a hotel group that's going to produce millions of dollars in EBITDA.
Yep.
And
down.
Hello.
Hi, Skyla.
Hi,
Apparently, he's walking out of the room.
Yeah, I see that.
Should we make him miss the joke of the day? No, I don't think so.
Oh no, he would be so upset if he missed the joke of the day.
Hey, do you know where Jason is? Because I don't know where Jason is. I wonder if he's watching.
I just know he got stuck.
Yeah. To all the viewers out there, Jason
Yeah.
apparently got stuck somewhere in Flagstaff.
Or outside of Flagstaff.
There was
yeah.
a car accident on the highway, and it was like 28 degrees, and
He had to stay in his car for hours.
yeah,
like,
him and Andrea had to
blankets,
stay
'cause
in
it was just
blankets for
freezing.
hours.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
he's going to be back tomorrow, hopefully. Anyways,
They were like pioneers.
they were like pioneers, honestly, just roaming the trails.
Kidding.
But they had a car to be in, actually. So, speaking of being in a car and
yeah.
frozen,
I mean, I guess that's better. Still freezing.
I did that once. I got stuck on the grapevine. It sucked, let me tell you.
Well, because aren't you supposed to turn off your heat and your AC like when you're stuck like that?
Yeah,
Because,
you're supposed to turn off your car. You have no idea what happens then if you run out of gas. And
Yeah.
I mean, people are stupid, so take a trip far away with like a half tank of gas because you can get it cheaper somewhere else.
Yeah.
You're supposed to, because the real reason is you can die technically of carbon monoxide poisoning, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, if the snow piled up high enough, got high enough to be in your exhaust, which is hot, so it shouldn't. But they take all those precautions in order to make sure, you know, that people aren't going to get sick and going to get ugly. So what are your plans for New Year's?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. I was just asking Nick and Brett about what they're doing because I don't know. I mean, it's my first year in Vegas.
And party.
But they live here. They've lived here for a long time, and it's my first year here for New Year's.
Did you just
so
say
I'm not sure what I'm doing.
Hakkasan.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Hakkasan's so good.
Who's there? Do you know?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
We'll be there.
You're going to be at Hakkasan, seriously, on New Year's Eve.
Are you filming something or
I just want
for
to know
pleasure?
who's playing. I'm looking at it.
My little son might be at someplace like that. That's what he likes to do.
Vegas.
Although he's getting domesticated quite well lately.
Oh, domesticated.
A
Nick,
wife
does
and
your
3
wife
dogs.
does your wife watch this, Nick? Yeah. Uh-oh. So I can't say I wouldn't let my wife domesticate me because I know my wife doesn't watch it. Even though she's in the office.
She does watch it. She sits over
I
there
don't
and
think she
watches
watches
I think
it.
she watches
Probably
it.
watches it and takes notes.
Huh, Diana? She watches it.
What is your boss doing?
I don't know. He came in for a second and then he left again.
Oh,
so.
did you? So have you bought any Bitcoin?
No,
Why not?
I don't know. I don't.
Bought any Shiba Inu?
No.
Why not?
But I haven't bought Bitcoin. I haven't bought Shiba.
Well, Shiba's way cheaper.
Yeah, no, I need to get in it. Roland's way better. I know he does.
I know Roland does.
Yeah,
He's
but
in all of it.
he's in
Which
everything.
makes me kind of happy.
Yeah,
I'm
at least
only-
he knows what he's doing.
I'm only in about 12 coins, so I mean,
But
and
you
not,
got Bitcoins all over the table over there. Why don't you
I do
just
have Bitcoins
snag
all
some
over
of
the
those?
table.
That's
Every
the
one of them's worth
chocolate
an actual
Bitcoins.
Bitcoin. Speaking of,
Chocolate Bitcoin.
so me and my wife are just gonna watch fireworks then, and
Where?
anyone else here in Vegas, it's gonna
But
be.
no, like, do you have a spot from where? Or are
Well,
you just,
yeah, they're developing over by my house, so they've created like this 20-foot berm of dirt, and I think I'm gonna go walk over and put
Just
some
gonna
chairs
climb
on
the
that
dirt.
20-foot berm of dirt and watch the strip. It's supposed to be the biggest show this year. 8 hotels, all the rooftops synchronized for 8 minutes.
I think it'd be cool to watch the fireworks from the 3rd floor here.
And New York is supposedly
There's a
shutting
really good
down.
view of the strip here,
They're shutting down?
like upstairs.
They're scaling back and encouraging social distancing. I don't know how you do that in Times Square. And I have been to Times Square, and let me tell you, I just don't believe it. I believe it's going to be a body crush, super spreader event. I don't care.
Well, a lot of people are getting COVID right now. A lot of people we know.
A lot of people we know.
Right
In
now.
fact,
I don't have it.
there's sort
I
of an
was
office
negative.
right next to us
Yeah.
that may or may not be visiting. They're
Yeah.
taking precaution.
I know. I'm so grateful I don't have it. I was like, there's no way I'm doing this again.
I was really worried you'd gotten me sick, and
But I still have antibodies, and so does Roland. So
well, I got it. I got the vaccine. I'm not sure I'm getting the next jab. I probably am, just for work, but I don't know if I want it. I mean, I heard it turns you like purple and stuff.
who did you hear it turns you purple from?
What are you doing?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of closing a transaction.
We don't care.
Someone asked how
Why'd you
many
ask what I
miners
was
are
doing?
installed.
Sorry. It's an active business here.
What are you doing for New Year's? We were talking about it. That's why.
Yeah, we don't. What,
Guy, everybody, I'm
do-
sorry,
do you have
okay?
any plans?
But a lot happens at the end of the year. Where did I leave off?
What you're doing for New Year's? Because we all said what we're doing. In fact, Nick and Brett are going to Hakkasan, it looks like.
Is that true? Is that true?
He
Are you guys
won't-
going to Hakkasan?
he
They're
won't
not going to
tell
let us
me.
in, but we're
He
going to go
w-
stand in line.
I'm going to Hakkasan tomorrow night for dinner.
Oh, you suck.
And then I'm supposed to see Katy Perry. But I got to be honest with you.
Isn't she over at the, what do you call
She's
it?
at the Resorts World.
Oh,
But to be honest with you, the COVID scare is the COVID scare is actually pretty scary.
yeah.
I tested for COVID yesterday, and I was negative.
Ooh.
But I thought I had it. I didn't feel good. I had neck pains,
Yeah.
etc. Skylar, you tested for it. You were negative.
Everything was negative. Flu, everything. I thought I had it too because I've had a headache now for 5 days straight, and
My
that's what I had
my
last time
son-
I had COVID.
My son and his girlfriend are very sick.
Are they?
But they haven't been tested yet, right?
They have not been tested because in California there are no home tests and there's no way to get a test of any kind.
Nope, there was no test.
And
here
I
till
just
the
want to
3rd.
say to Joe Biden, who had a better plan than Donald Trump, no testing available, no home testing available, no places to go get tested, no appointments available. Great job, really. I quite honestly, who do I blame? I had to go stand in line in Nevada. I was in line for what, 45 minutes?
over an hour. I was there for
Yeah.
over an hour.
Now,
so.
I'm not complaining because I was grateful I could get a test, but my son can't even get a test in California. Neither can his they can't get tests.
I don't doubt it. Ride the wave.
And so,
Are we sure they don't have the flu? Because, that still exists. I mean, I keep trying to tell everybody flu actually does exist.
yeah, for sure.
You saw the
mean,
thing I
they
sent you
could-
last night?
Jason was stuck driving back from Florida and Arizona in really bad weather. I think he had to spend the overnight
Yep.
on the path. He lost the 24-hour bet with you.
Yep, definitely lost.
What did
the
you
bet.
guys bet? Are you gonna get something?
Well, apparently Google Maps told him he could make it back by Tuesday at like 7 p.m.
So Jason's not on the show today that I'm aware of.
So he thought he was going to make it.
Let's cover the market real quick. Let's go through a quick update real quickly here. Update with Todd and Jason, except that it's with Todd and Todd. Dow up 90.42, S&P up 6.7, NASDAQ down 15. Should I even give anyone a quote on BitNile?
Sure.
No, I'm not even going to quote it.
Why?
It's disgusting. Every name I own except for 3 was down. Every single name. Every single small cap name down. Small caps have been obliterated. Peloton down to 34.56. Innovis down to 17.96. Alzheimer down to 194, down 24 cents for some reason 2 days before the market ends. I don't know why it's down. Something happened between yesterday and today.
Probably.
I see the triple Qs were down. Wow, SSNT, which was $13, $12, $11, $4.38. Wow, just obliterated these.
Ouch.
These small caps have just taken them to the woodshed for sure. We're going to have a wrap-up show of the year, sort of go over all the things we did on Friday. It's going to be like an hour and a half, 2 hour show with Jason, myself, you, Skyla, the whole works.
That'll be fun.
Pretty interesting year for sure. You know, obviously for us at BitNile Holdings and Ault Alliance, because I'm going to start saying the names together, there are 2 companies in one, and those companies own other companies. But effectively, the 2 companies are going to split apart. That's the plan, of course, if we can get approval. BitNile and Ault Alliance, a lot of acquisitions in real estate. Obviously, we did this, announced the merger with Gigatronics.
Yep.
With
exciting
for the defense side. But really, the story is mining.
Mining.
The story is that we have become and are becoming a data center DeFi miner. So data center and a Bitcoin miner into a big degree, right? Boom, basically, right?
Boom.
Boom. And then DeFi with Earnity.
That's going to be exciting too.
What happened the other day with Bitcoin? Let's go real quickly to 47,303. What happened with Bitcoin?
You know what my opinion of this. It was great.
You said 70,000 by the end of the year.
I was close.
You were at 69,000 for like a
Yeah.
day or two.
That's close enough. I mean,
Crypto Joe, we were in Dubai together.
we were.
And the high of the year was 69,000, and we're 20,000, 1,800 points lower.
You know my opinion.
Why have
on
you
this.
disappointed us?
I really don't think it's me. I think it's the Fed and the banks, because I mean that's who everybody always blames us on.
Blame the Fed and the banks?
Well, I mean, you know, look, I mean, people like J.P. Morgan Chase. Not that I would ever think they'd do something like this, but you know, I mean, they're multi-trillion dollars in assets. Push Bitcoin down to 47, buy it all up, and let it roll all the way
So you're blaming
up.
J.P. Morgan?
Maybe.
When in doubt, blame Jamie Dimon?
Yep. He doesn't like it.
Hey, did you see the Logan Paul fight? No, not Logan Paul. Jake Paul.
Is it the one where he just leveled the dude?
Woodley?
Yeah.
You seen that?
I saw the.
You know,
I saw the highlight.
last night I
Dude,
found
he
my wife
leveled it.
and my sister-in-law watching the fight. I'm like,
What?
why are you watching this fight? We like to see people get knocked out. I'm like,
I've never heard
dude,
that
that
from
guy
either
just
one
did-
of
they
them.
were actually watching the fight on Showtime as a repeat. I'm like, he says, well, I already
That's
saw this on
funny.
YouTube, but I want to watch fight, and I know where it happens. My wife's like counting down the seconds in the round. I'm like, really?
Bro, that guy just didn't get knocked
funny.
out. It was just like a tree falling in the woods.
Have you seen how he fell?
That was gnarly.
Now, did you notice that he had? I'm going to go over it real quickly here. Did you notice that he? I'm going to pull it up. If you could go to my screen, because it's worth the 15 seconds. I want you to see what the sponsor was. Let's pull it up real quick. Look who the sponsor is. Ready? Okay, here we go. Watch. Dude wipes. Watch. Look at. He goes down, and it just says "Dude wipes" on his butt. Did you see that?
Dude, it was gnarly. I mean, just thunk.
One more time. I just want you to see he has dude wipes. Those are wipes for your ass.
Yep.
Those are like special wipes only for dudes, apparently. Because our doo-doo is worse than other doo-doo
Do
or
they
something.
what, like smell like sandals?
I don't know.
Stuff
Here we go.
babies have.
Do you see how he fell?
Yeah, just clunk.
You can't fake that. People saying, is it fake? You cannot fake that.
Nope.
He literally, because
He's bent.
Human instincts are that you don't let your face hit the ground first.
Yeah.
And he just fell, like flat out.
Yeah, he didn't try and protect
You don't have
himself,
that.
nothing.
He didn't put his arms down when he fell. He just fell hard.
And he bent at the waist. I mean, you don't do that. He just watch, he folds right there. Yeah, that's just a gnarly.
I was kind of feeling like that's what it looks like with Bitnile, right?
Yeah.
It got
you
hit
think
7-8 days ago and just fell.
Yeah.
And just hit the ground. Just kidding.
I don't think it's that bad.
No, I'm a little bitter because I got people giving me grief. We raised money at 381 average on 200 million. The stock's at $1.21.
Yeah, I know.
What am I supposed to do with that? What am I to do with that? That is a rhetorical question. Joe, you cannot answer that question. Please do not answer that question.
I was just
Please
smiling,
do
man.
not answer that question. I would say that I am the very most optimistic about our business prospects ever for 2022. I'm not happy with the way things are ending in terms of the stock price, but extremely happy with our business process, the staff, what you guys are doing in Michigan, what transpired with Josh in the Midwest with those hotels, what's going on with Gresham, JR, and Tim. Finally selling EV chargers. Finally,
Yep.
after that debacle of getting approval from the various regulatory agencies. Wow, was that a long time.
I know, but it's all exciting news. I don't get it. Honestly.
But Joe, I want to be clear, coming up in the coming days ahead, you will be giving us a prediction for Bitcoin for 2022, right?
I already got it.
All right. Skyla, do you have a prediction for Bitcoin in 2022? Not now, but do you think you'll have a prediction?
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Skyla, why don't you give us our joke of the day here?
All right.
And don't say Nile.
Have you heard about the guy who got his whole left side of his body chopped off?
No.
He's all right now.
Ooh. Funny.
Seriously.
No.
Dad jokes.
Hey, by the way, guys, over
Wait, can you say
behind
that
the
joke
booth.
again one more time?
All right, go ahead.
Did you hear about the guy who got his whole left side of his body chopped off?
No.
He's all right now.
Mamma mia. I like that.
So,
Hey, I think
Brett,
Naked Brands closed today, by the way.
did it?
Yeah.
Finally?
Naked Brands.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think Naked Brands is closing today. I'm pretty excited. Let's see here. 574, like a rocket ship. Let's go to my screen real quick. Like a rocket ship. And then in the aftermarket, it is 624.
Ooh.
This stock is flying in the aftermarket, Naked Brands. We own some stock in Naked Brands.
A little bit.
We don't own a lot. We've got a lot of it when it rallied to $1, which is the equivalent of $15. We exited it, and then it fell back to $5. But we do have a position, and I'm excited to see that it looks like they closed.
That's good for them.
That's great for the company, Centro. I don't know the news here, but obviously, if anyone is in the chat room and they know the status of Naked, I don't follow the day-to-day every second of every day about what's happening there, but I'm hearing they're closing today. Naked Brands. Let's see here. We're live. Episode 168. Hey, we're getting up there, right?
I know. Can't wait for 200. That'll be a fun episode.
What does this say? Only one stock, laugh out loud, the knife here. I got to follow some of these. What about Naked Brands? Naked Brands closed today. That's what someone's saying. Closing today. Great. $5 for 5 days earned. Todd should open a mobile Centro vending machine in Vegas. Is that where you just buy those Carvanas where
Dude,
there's
that would be rad because we've got one of the largest car vending. I think we actually have the largest car vending machine in the world.
But I don't understand how that car vending machine works. You don't really just go up and click it, do you?
You buy it online, and then you go there supposedly with a code, and it downloads your car and puts it out there for you, and you drive off.
There's no way.
I know.
That doesn't happen.
That's the way they say it works, though.
Yeah, I don't believe that. What's up with your own stock, Niall? Nothing but downhill. Hey, listen, if you watched the show earlier, I was complaining. I don't know. No ATM, announced the buyback. I don't know. Whatever. No comment. I think I said earlier, it's probably better that I just stop commenting, because the more transparent I am about Niall and what we're doing, if you just follow the SEC rules, you only disclose on 8Ks. You have no obligation except for filing quarterly, and when there's information, you could just keep your mouth shut.
Yep.
That might be better. Maybe I should just do the show only and cover other things I'm doing that are risk on.
I think that's a good idea.
You think so?
I think so.
I mean,
It's going to piss a lot of people off, but
But there's some anecdotal evidence that I'm better off just to shut up.
Yeah.
Would you think?
Which would be funny. What if nobody heard any news from the company? Because you know how that fury happens. And
Big Larry Holdings, they say nothing.
Yep.
He doesn't even do interviews. He only does one shareholder meeting a year. Buffett gets interviewed, but I'm not Buffett. He gets interviewed occasionally, but he generally takes comments and answers questions once a year.
I just like you, because you can see it. I mean, there's fervor around some of the companies when they said nothing. After saying stuff all the time, people start speculating and they go crazy, and something big's happening. Oh, look, they're merging with XYZ.
Right.
It'd be fun. It'd be fun just to mess
I
with
appreciate
people.
the question. Nile is only mining Bitcoin. It does not mine Ethereum. It only mines Bitcoin. Bitcoin.
Can we mine Litecoin?
Joe, can you go be a theoretical calculator? 250 million in revenue, 21,000 miners. I don't know what Scott is asking. Scott, I do see the question. We have given written forecast based on Bitcoin prices and difficulty where our revenue would be. So, when you have 20,600 miners fully installed by September, as the forecast is dramatic, I mean, you got Bitcoin at 47,000. I would refer people to the press release we put out showing the schedule of where Bitcoin would be relative to us, right?
I mean, honestly, that's what I would have said too. Only because it's a volatile market, man. I mean, I'm not just talking about that. You get miners off. There are lots of governments now that are cracking down on their miners. So while difficulty's going up in some aspects, like for instance, people are bringing on new miners, much like we are, right? And they're going to bring on more miners. Difficulty goes up. Just last month, it was announced that Iran, or was it Iraq, brought off 220,000 miners offline from illegal miners in their country.
Right.
Right. So, people are really trying to crack down because, gigawatts of power being stolen. And then there's price. Who knows? I mean,
W.M. McLean says, Todd, you do you, F the rest.
Amen. I'm there.
That's nice. That's a nice thing.
I'm sort of there with him.
I got to say, didn't he just email me about the host? Someone just emailed me today about the hotels. Let me be clear. I don't know how much this has been disclosed. I want to make sure I stay within disclosure guidelines. We underwrote the hotel purchases to around, I believe, between 52 and 55% occupancy. We're betting on a turnaround in the future of the hotel industry, and we're buying hotels that are by major institutions, like in this case, Wisconsin University, right? Which is a big college town, big time, right? So when I talk about the hotels, we have Josh Caspi Development, Chris Wu, really, I can't stress to you how smart these people are.
Yep.
And when we went to underwrite those hotels, we underwrote that they would not have the occupancy because of COVID. We underwrote to current times, not pre-COVID times.
Right.
If there's a recovery in pre-COVID times, like when they were at 76% occupancy or higher, we will have a windfall. So we're very comfortable with the debt coverage. We're very comfortable with the loan. We're very comfortable with what's called the PIP, which is a property effect improvement program where Marriott and Hilton will require us to improve those hotels over time. If you ever own a hotel, understand that hotels are open 24/7, 365. Prior to COVID, hotels don't close. And therefore, you have to have an ongoing maintenance program and upkeep program. And so in all your cash flow models, you set aside a little bit of money every single month, every single year to then do those PIP improvements to keep new beds, new sheets, new, not sheets, but new like carpeting, things that make a hotel refreshed and nice, right? But hotels are designed to never close, to be open 24/7, 365, kind of like Bitcoin mining.
It's almost exactly like
Right.
that.
We mine Bitcoin 24/7, 365.
Look.
And one of the incentives that Crypto Joe has is his pay is tied, his bonus is tied to the amount of downtime versus uptime we're doing mining. So I've noticed lately when you have to go for a refresher power on a Saturday,
It's pretty fast.
It's pretty fast. I
Yeah.
mean, someone's really motivated to get that done quickly, right?
It's pretty fast.
So one of the things that I'm attracted to for the future is things that make us money 24/7, 365 while we're sleeping. Joe, you know when you gave that speech at our Christmas party that one of the criterias for you and I working together in the future was one day we're going to make money 24/7, 365 while I'm sleeping. You're doing that in Bitcoin.
Yep.
Has anything changed since you forecast, other than the price of Bitcoin? Is there anything in your mind changing for Bitcoin that's
I actually
making you less or more nervous?
No, less nervous. I mean, there's massive adoption. I mean, look at what Visa did. Visa's trying to bring it to 60 million merchants. I mean,
80 million.
Is it
80
80
million?
now?
Yeah.
Yeah, yikes. I mean, we have companies like Venezuela where if you look...
Countries, yeah.
Countries like Venezuela. So Litecoin is one of the currencies because it could be traded...
Fast, right.
Very fast.
Right.
Right? And so their dollar's worth nothing, so the people down there trade. You know, India, now 25% adopted into some form of cryptocurrency. At least 25% of their population supposedly has adopted it. So do I have any? No. You know, the biggest fear is... actually... The biggest fear for a lot of crypto people is that the government starts to outlaw it. Conversely, the biggest hope for some of them is that the government's outlaw, because if they do, it makes it more valuable. It legitimizes it.
Yeah,
right?
one of the things I keep getting a question about is, let me be clear on something. There are really two companies now. There's Nile, which owns Bitcoin, BitNile Inc. and Alliance Cloud Services. And then the largest and only shareholder of Alt Alliance is BitNile Holdings. Those companies will be separated into two public companies. That's the plan for this year. If you're a shareholder of Nile, someday you'll get shares of the other company, and that company owns the hotel group. The hotel in the limited partnership in New York and Tribeca, and the 4 hotels that were recently purchased, and the defense business, and the EV business, and the lending business, and the securities portfolio. Yep. That's the Alt Alliance side of it. So I want to remind everyone, I'm a shareholder of Nile, so I'll get the dividend too. We're all in it together in the sense that we're going to get a pari passu pro rata of both companies, right? So I own my Nile, and if I have 1 million shares, which I don't have more, but let's say I have 1 million shares. Let's say for simple purposes. Let's say for the average person, you have 10,000 shares. If you have 10,000 shares of this, you'll keep your Nile shares, and one day you're going to wake up with some pro rata portion of the other company that's going to be spun out. That is the plan, of course. Obviously, we're looking for tax-free status. And I'm just answering this question because someone said to me, you know, what's going to happen with the hotels? Let's see here. In the DeFi section of what you know as Earnity, that is owned by BitNile Inc., and that'll stay with Nile. So inside Nile will be the data center, which boy, oh boy, am I pleased with. Thank you. The 20,600 miners, boy, oh boy, am I pleased with them. Thank you, Bitmain, for delivering them.
Thank you.
Every month they deliver us miners. That's accelerating, by the way.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then on top of that, there's an Earnity investment where we made a Series A round.
Right.
And that is something I'm really excited about because what they're creating
I'm super excited
is
about
really
that one.
exciting in the crypto exchange space, almost like an eBay for crypto. It will. There'll be more about
a little bit, yeah.
There'll be more about that later. And then, of course, all the legacy sort of EBITDA cash flow vehicles will be on the Alliance side. But keep in mind, Bitcoin, the margins are massive at Bitcoin. Darren and you have done a great job of continuing to press that price down in terms of that nuclear power agreement.
Yeah,
or did I say nuclear? Nuclear
You
power
know what? I'm
agreement?
not getting into this one again.
Oh, you're not going to join me on that?
I say it like George Bush or something. Nuclear.
We don't know the
Nuclear?
ratio of the split yet. That'll be determined by a bunch of calculations and things you got to do in the future. Let's go to some of the headlines, and then we're going to wrap it up and be excited for year end. U.S. cases rise, high as Delta, Omicron calculated at the same time. It is really kind of out of control, but it appears to be the flu. Apple ditched Intel, but it paid off. I thought this is the big story. Apple really threw Intel to the side, and it seems to be working for them. The decline in crypto prices blamed on Omicron doesn't make any sense. Climate control. I think that's a misnomer when people talk about Bitcoin. I don't think people understand when you have this cell phone here, what the footprint looks like for all the data and power you're using here. Really kind of a not fair, if you know what I'm saying.
Correct.
Not true in the sense of crypto is somehow not climate compliant.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the cell phone use and the charging of the cell phones every day.
If you go to my screen real quickly,
Eats.
I want to talk about a place that used to be my clearing firm. I used to use them for my broker-dealer, and I used them for my prime broker when I ran my hedge fund originally. Jimmy Kane died, who led Bear Stearns through the rise and fall. Those of you who follow Wall Street, Bear Stearns was kind of a one-of-a-kind firm. They really like to hire poor, smart, and people who wanted to get rich. I related to that because I grew up in HUD housing. I worked with Bear Stearns, not at Bear Stearns. They were my prime broker for years. I had a relationship with a lot of people at Bear Stearns, and it was really sad to see during 2008, 2009 when they went under and was sold to J.P. Morgan, and Bear Stearns doesn't exist anymore in its old format. But really a legend died on Wall Street, a guy who basically earned his way up from the ground up. Yesterday, John Madden died.
Yeah.
The best thing about the Raiders was John Madden.
Yep.
One of the funnest commentators around. I love the turkey leg guy and all the things he did.
I love the drawing on the
Madden
screen.
96, Madden really ushered in football in a way where we played. You know, there was the old Intellivision and Coleco stuff and the fun stuff earlier, Atari, but nothing was like Madden. It still isn't to this day, Matt, you know.
Yeah, so I shouldn't have watched all the tweets going on about Madden yesterday because I just went off on a few people.
Then Harry Reid died.
Harry Reid died.
Prostate cancer.
Yeah.
He's a legend here from Nevada. I think they renamed the airport.
They did.
Yeah, that's going to no longer be called McCarran.
Correct.
Is it Harry Reid International or something like that?
I have no idea what the actual name is. Hang on.
So yesterday was weird. It's just a series of passing away. I want to shout out to a friend of mine, Roland, who he woke up today, who his father passed away.
Yeah.
So Roland, who's frequently on the show in the comment section, everyone knows Roland is dating Skyla, my niece. Roland's mom died approximately a month ago, and Roland's father died this morning.
Yeah, our condolences to him for sure.
So for those of you who think things can be tough, you got to put all this in perspective. Losing your father and mother in a 1 month period of time.
Yeah.
He's a 24-year-old kid.
25.
25,
but
sorry. Who really does have his shit together.
He does.
He's a good kid. I like him a lot.
Me too.
I got to be honest with you, I was a little bit of a skeptic because Skyla's selection of boyfriends was to be. I wasn't a fan of them, and I'm not saying that some of them weren't nice, and I liked a couple of them in terms of personal relationships. But Skyla's happiness is the most important thing. But Roland has done everything he could. He appears to be a man of his word, and we wish him well. I like him a lot. I like his work ethic. He definitely works hard.
He does.
He shows up every day. He tries to do really well for the company he works for. And I'm sure, Roland, your mom was proud of you, and we like you. I know Skyla loves you. Clearly, she's in love, no question. And we're sorry about your loss. It really sucks.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's get on a positive note here.
Well, there's a super positive note.
What's the positive note?
When they go to Hakkasan, they're going to get to see Black Coffee, the DJ.
Oh, are they actually going to Hakkasan? Are you and your wife going to Hakkasan, really?
We're just going to stand in line and look like we're important.
You lie. Are you really going?
No.
Oh, I didn't think so.
Yeah, Black Coffee set the world record for a DJ. 60 hours continuous DJing.
60 hours?
60 hours.
What?
That guy needs a dude wipe.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, maybe even some Depends with those dude wipes. I'm not doing anything, man. I don't know what I'm doing. I literally think I'm doing nothing. I'm going to go to sleep before New Year's this year, maybe.
Yeah.
Wake up to a blissful, great year.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
I do.
What? Let's hear them.
For 3 months solid.
No. If you say you're not going to smoke, I'm going to throw you out the door.
It's not smoking.
Yeah, I was like,
Just stop saying.
It's not smoking. So for 3 months, me and my wife have decided. So we go to like the bar once or twice a week, just to have one beer and a slot machine. So instead of that, we're going to go 6 days a week to the gym instead for the first 3 months minimum. No drinking, all alcohol, not even at home.
Really?
Totally
yeah,
off.
Roland and I are doing that too. No drinking,
100%
smoking.
hardcore for the first 3 months.
We're trying a month first, seeing how that goes. But we're
Wait,
doing
wait,
that.
no drinking or
Or
what?
smoking for a whole month.
You mean
And
no smoking what?
anything.
Sweet.
Wait,
Proud
wait,
of you.
wait,
I'd
wait,
be very
what?
happy if you did that. No,
Wait.
Yep.
good for you.
Wait, Skylar?
I've done it before.
We don't
Okay, it's
believe
not
that.
like it's
All
the
right,
end of the world for me.
whatever.
I've
When
done
you
it
were-
before.
liar.
When you were 14,
Yeah.
quitting for a month. 'cause
Going
you got
back to when
caught
you were
doesn't
12 years
count.
old doesn't count.
I
I didn't
never
smoke
got
when I was
caught.
12.
I didn't get caught. Too slick for that.
Let me just say something. I've known Skylar since she was 3. When she was in elementary school and high school, she was completely a rebel, and her mom thought, I'm in control of Skylar. Nah, I don't think so. Skylar and I had a little bit. We had a little understanding. I knew what was up. She's like, I'm
Yeah,
in
good
charge.
times.
She's like, you
Good
didn't
times.
know anything.
Yeah, she was in charge. Trust me. Skylar is. Oh!
What?
A verdict has been reached in the Jazane whatever Maxwell
She's
case.
convicted. She's getting 60 years.
You think so?
I think so.
What do you think the verdict is?
It's got to be guilty.
You think it's guilty, huh?
Yep. She was She was at least a non-innocent bystander of that, and at worst, she was fully complicit in it.
And years later, well,
Because her defense wasn't, I was a hostage held by him.
Elizabeth Holmes, they're at the 6th day of the jury deliberations on whether she's guilty
Yeah, that one's
from
gonna be-
Theranos.
that one might
6
be
days out, that means there's a potential that the jury
Mistrial.
may be thinking, I don't think so.
hung juries.
The jury reaches a verdict, though, 8 minutes ago in the sex trafficking case of Ghislaine Maxwell.
What is it?
I don't know the answer. Guys, obviously, the show's supposed to be at risk on. It's migrated a little bit too much to like talking about current events, and I really want to talk about things that I think we do that are risk on. I really do want to cover things like why do we buy a hotel? What do we see there? And earlier I talked about the proper underwriting of a deal. And one of the things I want to transition to for 2022 is I can't stand the idea that we own something today, we sell it tomorrow. Even though I trade, it's because I try to take advantage of price disintermediated prices in the marketplace. And I do want to talk about in the future some of the businesses we own and why we own them and get down to the core strategy of what Ault Alliance will be and is for the shareholders of the future when that gets spun out. And the high growth initiatives that is BitNile Holdings and their holdings in Bitcoin mining, DeFi, and data center. Joe and I will be taking a trip to Michigan, and we'll be doing some live stuff from there, some question and answer stuff. We'll be giving a virtual tour of some of the facilities.
Yep.
Now, Joe, you built that out pretty big. I'm fascinated with those pods and stuff like this. Is the entire part of the mining operations that we put on video before on Instagram, and we'll put them again up on the screen someday here, but is the entire Bay pod system going to be the entire build out?
No, we've got some people over there in design. We've got engineers that do airflow. Darren's over there working hard, and so is Jay. And honestly, we're looking at the next 60,000 square feet. to be something a little bit more supermassive.
Right.
I
Or you could
think.
go higher or something.
Correct. We have 25-foot roofs, so.
But I thought one part had 50-foot roofs.
Oh, we do. We do have 50-foot roofs.
But you wouldn't go 50 feet high, right?
No way. I mean, first of all, I don't know that OSHA would let me build racks that high.
Oh, for safety purposes.
For safety, because you're moving. I mean, when a miner goes down, you bring it in and out. You know, even if we platform it, even when we put lifts up, 50 foot's getting way, way up there. I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't have a big problem with it because we'd have the proper equipment and the proper lifts. But that's 50 feet. It's high. I mean, I would rather go 25 feet up and evacuate the air in that 25-foot space.
Hey, Jason, I hope you get home safe. Everybody, Roland, again, sorry about your loss. Skyla, we'll see you Friday for the year-end show. Well, the market is open on Friday. I believe it's a full day, right?
I was told it was a full day.
We'll confirm. I don't think it's a half day. I think the bond market closes, but the stock market's
You're talking
open.
about, is the stock market? Yes, it's open.
Is it a full day?
I confirmed it, yes.
Right.
At
Wow.
least
a
on their
half day in
website.
the office, right?
What'd you say?
It's just a half day in the office.
I don't think it's a half day in the
right?
office. I think the office is closed, but for people on this show, they'll be here to do the broadcast.
Yeah, we will be.
On Friday, it'll be myself, Jason, Willie, Joe, Randy. Oh, hey, can we do me a favor? Can you
we
go
get
grab
Randy?
Randy before we
Yeah.
close up here? I forgot. I want to
go.
bring him on.
So
real quick.
now
I
that
think
you
he's
want to
here.
get
Yeah, he's
back to
here.
more risk on stuff on your show, does that mean we're back on for diving out of a plane on my 50th birthday? I'm just
when will you be
asking.
50?
In June.
Do they make parachutes big enough to hold me?
Yeah.
Do they make parachutes like, would I be like a Humvee parachute, like one of those big ones to hold like a heavy object?
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be a Humvee. That's a pretty big. I mean, you know, that's a pretty big 2 parachutes usually for balance, but or 3.
I don't know that diving out of an airplane. I mean, my daughter did it. She jumped, parallel jumped, and gave a little gang sign because she's in DG. She flashed her DG sign.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Because she's
I
like
do, I get
Delta
it.
Gamma, Delta Gamma girl.
Yeah.
DG.
I love how you just called
Randy,
the sorority
Risk
a
on
gang.
Racing. How are you, buddy?
You rang?
Well, you always say you're ready. You're ready. What's up with the NHL, dude? I mean, are they back or not? Because last night I was watching a game. It seemed like it was.
Oh, you know,
was
I have
taped.
to. Yeah, I'll have to see because they were supposed to come back, and then I heard the Canadian teams in Canada they're having a further issue with the COVID. Like they weren't going to let those teams play. So
Dude,
it's a complete mess.
It's not.
It is.
Oh yeah.
It's a mess.
Any update from Lewis Hamilton? I presume we don't know whether he's retiring.
He's not going to. This is the thing. He's always doing this. He wants everybody to feel sorry for him. He wants to cause all this drama. He's going to come back. Of course he's going to
Now,
come
Randy,
back.
listen.
He's
I
not
want to be
gonna
clear
not
with
retire.
you. You
What?
say it properly, okay? I want you to say his name properly.
What did I
Sir
say?
Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, I'm not going to. I'm not bowing
Sir,
down.
he was knighted, was he not?
I don't bow down to anybody.
Was he not knighted?
I don't care.
You are his subject now.
I don't care.
And you will listen to him. You're
Actually, we're not a Commonwealth of
Oh,
Great Britain
I forgot.
anymore.
I forgot.
Come on, don't shove it down my throat.
What's your ethnic background? Where are you from?
Well,
Aren't you English or Irish?
no, my dad was Irish and my mom was Italian.
Oh.
And there's probably other stuff mixed in there. I've never researched to see all of what it is,
Oh,
but
got it. Right.
probably some Native American somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, really?
I
Probably.
love how you just
Tonto
give us a crap
Goldstein?
about. I do. I love it. It's great.
Randy, anything else in sports you want to talk about?
Yeah, there was something I never got to when we were going over the Hamilton thing at the end of the season when Abu Dhabi race happened. But that same weekend, what happened? I saw you talking about this Jake Paul dude or whoever that was fighting. Who cares about that? I don't know. You guys never mentioned, but my girl, the Venezuelan vixen, Juliana Pena, choked out this Amanda Nunez, who people thought would never, ever lose. She was the greatest ever. She was never going to lose. And she got choked out here in Vegas the weekend of that Abu Dhabi fight. I mean, the Abu Dhabi race. So that was awesome. I don't know if you guys ever watch. I don't watch any MMA, really. I just like the women, like Misha Tate, and I like Juliana Pena. They're very good, man. They're more entertaining than the men's fights.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really into MMA, and me and Di have a mutual friend that's trying to actually go into MMA. If he wins his bout for
They
the
get
state,
beaten up bad, man.
right? But if
They
this
get
kid
beaten
wins his
up
bout
terrible.
for like the state, he gets to move to the MMA.
Uh-huh.
And the girls, I just can't watch because I mean, it's like when I was out on watching.
Would you want Becca to fight MMA?
No, I wouldn't. But I mean, I don't see the point in it. I mean, I can go to a 12-year-old boys baseball game and watch them fight just the same and call it a day.
No.
Ouch.
No, you're listen. There's this.
I think some of these girls would beat your butt,
Dude, you're no. Listen,
I'm sure they would.
have you
I
seen
don't
that?
really
I talked
care.
about this with Roland, and my condolences also to Roland. I heard you mention that. I love Roland. I feel so bad for him. But me and him were talking about, and he watches this thing called this BKFC, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Dude, this is the real deal because they don't wear no gloves. And I saw these women fighting, right? And Joe's dead wrong because these two women were fighting. They were so pretty. They got in there, beat each other's faces in. They had big golf balls under their eyes.
I honestly think you missed my point, though. My point is that I wouldn't care to watch 12-year-old boys fight. I don't care to watch anyone fight. It's just, it's stupid to me. I've never liked boxing.
Chick that you tried choke that person out to fight Jake Paul. You think?
I mean,
is that what you were talking about?
What?
Weren't you talking about Jake Paul fighting a girl?
No, I just said you were talking about it. That's what made me bring up the MMA stuff. Because I don't watch any of it either. But there's certain girls, and it fascinates me because why would these pretty girls get in there and do that and be so badass? But Todd's right. They'll beat some of our asses. I mean, they are really no nonsense.
There's a couple. The one that beat Ronda Rousey, I wouldn't fight her.
My honest opinion of that is that most of those people probably in there fighting because they have nowhere to channel their anger, and they'd end up in prison if they didn't end up in the MMA.
Well, I've heard some of them mention that. They've actually been interviewed, and they actually admitted to that. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well, I got to leave you with one of my favorite things. It's 2:09. We're going to call it a day. But I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite. If you just go to my screen real quick. Hold on. Give it 2, 3, 1, 0. Okay. Can you go to my screen real quick? This is how I feel right now at the end of the year. I've been getting my butt kicked the last couple of days, even though I thought I was doing okay.
I know where this
I
is
made
going.
it to the 6th round, and then this happened.
You were just...
But I'll tell you what. Hold on. Leave it there. Leave it there. I'll tell you what. It's great for dude wipes, though.
Dude, it's totally... They got like 30 seconds of advertising just straight out right there.
When you get your ass kicked, you need a dude wipe. Now, what I'm not understanding is that's the second fight with those guys? So they've already fought before, right?
You know what? Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
You just don't follow boxing anymore.
I don't.
Ever since Mike Tyson's out of the league, right?
I don't think it was Mike Tyson because I like Lennox Lewis. And,
you know my favorite fighter was of all time when I was a kid?
Who?
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Oh, yeah.
Sugar Ray. Yeah, he was good.
I love Sugar Ray Leonard. And what my favorite part was is he lost to Roberto Duran.
Yep. And then they fought again.
And then he came back and he beat him, and that was the no Moss fight. I don't want him fighting anymore.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was when boxing was good back then, though. You know, those were
I'm writing a book, and I have someone helping me write the book.
I think maybe it's just getting too old.
And I talked to that guy helping me write a book, and I was asking him some questions about things that, did you know this, of this person? Mm-hmm. And at 30 years old, the guy who helped me write it, who's really an established, really good writer, I'm blown away how time passes and people don't know people that were critically important to their lives. Like, imagine if you said, you don't know who Michael Milken is, like the guy who effectively created the long distance industry when he created MCI with junk bonds, and the guy who financed most of the world in the 80s, right? Really huge revolutionary changes.
Yep.
And he said, I don't know who Michael Milken is. I'm like, I had to like process that.
It's a relevance thing, I suppose.
No, I guess, but does that
generational?
Does that mean he doesn't know who Ted Turner is?
Probably doesn't know who Vanilla Ice is. I mean, that guy was important in shaping my life with those parachute pants.
You weren't a fan, were you, Joe?
Oh, he's a fan.
Oh, dude,
he went to El Medina. He's the funky.
Say it ain't true,
dude.
Joe.
Yeah, trust me. So say it is true, Joe. Joe is a.
Joe
do you get
is
parachute
a-
pants from Miller's Outpost?
Probably.
Oh no.
I see a show now called Licorice Pizza. Remember Licorice Pizza?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was a great store. Is it
Yeah.
about the store? What is that about? I didn't understand
It's
that.
I don't know what it is.
Because the store was outstanding.
It's astonishing to me when I hear people. Like, I guess that's what Cardone talks about. That's what really is that. Really, nobody knows you. Even if I think I'm known and I got a bunch of followers, nobody knows who I am. If you don't know who Michael Milken is,
Do you think people would know who Warren Buffett was if he had died 25 years ago? Do you think kids his age would even know who Warren Buffett is?
I don't know. Probably not.
I mean, think about this. This one's going to really screw you up.
What?
Kids that are like, let's call them 5 to 10 years old right now, if you ask them in another 5 to 10 years who Steve Jobs was, they'll have no idea. None.
Wow. I guess you got to make a mark in your world while you're alive, right? And then even then,
Yeah.
you know.
That's why people put their names on buildings. Not a joke. I
You
mean,
know the last time an Andretti won the Indy 500? Do you know when that was?
2000.
I do.
I do.
When? 2000?
What year was I born, Randy?
I know
Oh,
that.
God, it had to be.
Well, what's the last time an Andretti won the Indy 500?
You were born that same year?
I was.
Okay, 69.
1969. An Andretti has not won the Indy 500 since 1969.
What's the
So
closest
you,
they
are you trying to
finished?
say that? Well,
No,
yeah.
Marco was close, and he had a pole position. And I watched Michael being devastated. He was in a Kmart car, and he almost won. I mean,
Oh, he lapped the field one year, and then he broke down with like 10 laps to go.
the Kmart car.
Yeah.
One of my favorite racers was Michael Andretti. I will say that watching him race was probably some of the funnest times.
Oh, for sure.
I liked Rick Mears too. I thought he was fun. Whoever drove they called it the Pennzoil Chaparral. I don't know why they called it the Chaparral.
Well, there was one year they had a team. Jim Hall had a Chaparral team, and it was the Pennzoil car before Penske.
Oh, got
Then
it.
later on, Penske had the Pennzoil car, and that's when Mears drove it. But it wasn't a Chaparral.
Oh,
But there was a
wasn't-
Chaparral. Johnny Rutherford won in the Chaparral
Yeah.
in 1980.
That's right, Johnny.
Yeah.
So I was 10 years old and I watched Johnny Rutherford win in a Chaparral. And
Yeah.
wasn't back then that they could control the wings a little bit too? Had like they keep evolving those cars.
No, they didn't, but they had ground effects that sucked the car to the ground. The way the aerodynamics were on the car, they couldn't adjust that stuff. It was fixed, but it was ground effects, and they banned it later on. But that's
the ground
what,
effects, right? They
yeah,
could
that's
move
why
them
that's
around.
why he dominated that year. They had the advantage with the ground effects with the Chaparral that the other teams didn't have. And
Yeah, but
Johnny,
the Chaparral specifically was set up in a way where it just dominated, and
Yeah.
then they took that away from them, right?
yeah.
Right.
Well, they did it in Formula One too. And Formula One used to have ground effects. They had these skirts, these sliding skirts. Those were adjustable. They could move these skirts and adjust the downforce. And then later on, teams were getting their ass beat, was complaining, saying, "Hey, this is not right." Blah blah blah. It's technology. Technology was evolving.
But
They
the
just
new
were
Indy
behind.
cars, you're like almost like in a cone, right? Where you have a cover, right? The new Indy cars have like a cover over them, right?
Well, not all the way. I mean, the top's open still, so it's still technically open cockpit. But yeah, that's what's awesome about any of us that were able to experience the 70s, 80s, 90s,
I know, but
whenever.
how insane were those drivers to just be openly exposed to the elements?
Oh yeah,
I mean, we're like to the shoulder level. I mean, it was
Didn't
gnarly.
Justin die that way? Didn't Justin?
yeah. He got hit in the head with a piece of debris.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
minding his own business, doing nothing. Some guy crashes, debris goes flying in the air and hits him on the top of the helmet.
did it go in his helmet?
No, it just hit him on top of the helmet, and then he just was unconscious and drove into the wall. And that's a really bummer. I met him one year at Indianapolis on Carb Day in the garage area. He was such a nice guy, good racer and a nice guy, man. It was just I cried. I was driving to work when I worked at Toshiba. I was driving to work. I didn't know what happened. I knew he was in bad shape, and I was driving to work. And on the radio they said he died. I was going to turn around and go home and call in sick, but I went to work anyways. And it was that's devastating, man. That guy was an awesome person.
Randy knows the
he
drivers
does.
personally.
I mean,
Randy
it's
Yeah.
goes
crazy.
down there in the paddock. He's one of those guys, got a Pabst Blue Ribbon and says, "Okay, I'm in the pits." with
Well,
this
you
stuff."
can't bring beer in there, but
You can't.
No.
no.
I guess you can't spill on the floor and stuff.
You can drink it outside there and then go in, but
Pass through the
All right, well, thanks, Randy. I appreciate the update. We'll see everyone at the year-end show this Friday. Hopefully, the market calms down for some of the smaller cap names. Joe, if Bitcoin's going to close at 70,000, we only need about $23,000 between now and Saturday.
Could happen.
Yeah, you never know, right?
Never know.
Hey, everybody, we'll see you Sunday. Or what's wrong with me? We'll see you Friday. Friday for a pretty long show.
Holy shit.
I agree.
Take care, everybody. Be safe.